Колеги, доброго дня. Розпочинаємо наш робочий день. До слова запрошується речник.
Good afternoon. We give the floor to Colonel Andriy Lysenko with the fresh information from the east of Ukraine from the ATO zone. You have the floor, sir. Good afternoon, esteemed colleagues. We have a good news. Over the last 24 hours, not a single Ukrainian military guy was killed or wounded. Despite the Minsk agreement and the work of the OSCE observers, the combatants did not stop the use of the banned weaponry against our guys. Yesterday, they registered 8 shellings using the mortar launchers 120 millimeters, the line of contact. The hottest points of confrontation in the ATO zone were in the Mariupol direction or area, the settlement of Shirokino. Here the combatants, in addition to the wide range of the firearms, they used also tanks. In Donetsk, напрямки near Gorlivka, in particular in Leninsk, they registered the snipers shooting in the settlement of 1st of May, 122 millimeter artillery guns. In Lugansk direction, they fixed some of the combats near Shastia and Zolote. At the same time, the enemy organized the aerial reconnaissance. According to the information yesterday to zone, they registered 17 flights of the UAVs. Also, at the administrative border with the occupied Autonomous Republic of Crimea, they also registered or observed the flight of helicopters Mi-8, the Armed Forces of Russian Federation, which violated the space of Ukraine. The combatants increased their number involving the criminals. Those who actually serve their sentence in this area, and they involve them in the illegal armed formations. Ukrainian army increases their combat skills. There was a training of the maritime border guards near Odessa. The border guards trained the volunteers, sharing the military experience and training both on the open spaces and open area and within the cities. They use those who have some experience of service in the ATO zone, and also this includes combating piracy, smuggling, and other crimes. In Lviv garrison, they actually commissioned 64 apartment house for our military guys. 1/3 of those apartments were given to the family members of those military guys who were participants in the ATO operation, also those who were heavily or severely wounded during the fighting for the independence of Ukraine. Also near Lysenko, they revealed the explosives under the motor car bridge, owing to the professional actions of militia, Armed Forces of Ukraine, and the Special Emergency Service. Nobody, there were no victims, nobody suffered. After the diffusing of the bridge, our experts found 124 explosive substances, even 244 in all, and Ukrainian law enforcement guys detained several combatants. One of those who actually betrayed his motherland and corrected the artillery shelling. And he collected the information and was paid for delivering this information to the illegal armed forces of the great troop of Donskoye. Another detained, nicknamed Oleg, who repeatedly attacked the fighters of the ATO forces and patrolled the Temersky district of Donetsk region.
Our law enforcement officers support IDPs in the occupied from the occupied territories. Thus, servicemen from the joint unit from Transcarpathia who hold service on Donetsk, they decided to share their foodstuff and medicine with the residents of Ukrainian Donbass and require most assistance. They transferred the part of their foodstuff to the local hospital. Also, President of Ukraine has met with the President of International Red Cross Organization, Mr. Peter Maurer. The leader of the organization mentioned that the Red Cross is ready to increase the number of trucks with humanitarian aid for Ukraine. Activities of the committee in Ukraine is one of the most large-scale, and budget of the Red Cross in Ukraine this year will reach 84.5 million of the US dollars. Questions, please. My question is about Stanitsa Luganska. Would you please comment on the withdrawal of some volunteer battalions from this location? All the deployments and relocations of the military units in the ATO area are done in line with a special plan which is developed by the command of and general staff. So address your question to them. And about the leaks of information about personal data of the servicemen from volunteer battalions, which could be found in the internet, whether it is possible to find out the source of these leakages and do something. This is the security service of Ukraine and the internal security service of the Ministry of the Interior, who are now addressing this issue, and we expect that they will find the perpetrator and they will find who commissioned this perpetrator for this offense. Any further questions? Any further explanations? No further questions. Thank you very much.